This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on this Tuesday? It's the first day of July. Hope you guys are having a good day so far, getting your Tuesday rolling. This is the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. You guys are checking us out on the Bama Central YouTube channel, Facebook page, on my own social media machines. We appreciate everybody who has downloaded, rated, reviewed the show on their favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon. We did it, Mason. I told everybody we needed a decent day yesterday to get to number one, and we had a good day on the downloads, and so now June 2025 is the best month we have ever had. So thank you to you, the listener, you, the viewer, for participating in the show on the comment section at Joe Gaither 6 or on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. We're gonna have a big show today, have a fun show today. We're gonna have Rihyael Kelly, Alabama's newest safety commit, join us at 8:45. So roughly 35 minutes from now, we're gonna have him join us. Oh my gosh, he's actually just jumped to the back end, so maybe we'll go to him right off the bat or here in just a minute, so not to waste his time. But we're going to have Rihyael Kelly join us. We're also going to spend the last part of the show with Larry D, TNA wrestler, AEW, AAW, all kinds of big show wrestling. He is going to be on the New Era Wrestling show, Star Spangled Bash, July 12th. So we're going to talk to Larry D about his match against Brother Azrael. Towards the end of the show, about 9:15, we're going to talk to him. And so we're going to have a lot of fun today. I know Dax has left us a voicemail on quarterbacks. I think he's going to set us up. I just heard just a smidget of it because I don't like to spoil it for myself. I heard just a smidget, and he was like, "Oh, Gunner, not ranked top 10." So I think he's going to set us up on a quarterback ranking discussion. We're going to talk about Owen Cabell, not Cabell, Cabell like Scrabble. I had somebody leave me a comment, so I appreciate that. So we're going to talk about Owen Cabell yesterday committing to the Crimson Tide. I think there's going to be another wide receiver committing today and another wide receiver committing tomorrow. So it's going to be a huge, huge week right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. But before I do all that, I need to take 10 seconds and say happy birthday to my middle sister, Ellen. Love you so much. I know she probably never listens to this show, and that's okay. It's not her flavor. It's not. She is not into sports, and that's okay. But we want to say happy birthday to her and hope that she has a great day. As always, it's Tuesday, so we welcome back our man Mason Woods off from the weekend. We had to get a substitute teacher in here yesterday. You know, Theo, we fired Theo for too much Thunder talk. We had to get Hunter Brantley in here yesterday to help us, and Hunter Brantley gave us a little bit of the gump juice basically on the recruiting trail. He was all about slamming some Auburn Tigers yesterday. So if you missed any of that, you can listen to Monday's show with Hunter Brantley. But with that, Mason, how was your weekend? How we feeling? How you doing, sir? Busy on the recruiting trail?
Yeah, busy on the recruiting trail. Busy weekend.
It's okay. We got going right off the bat, so you haven't had a chance to even have your Red Bull.
Busy weekend in general. You know, went up to the lake, see the wife's parents, and got a big sunburn on Saturday. That was a lot of fun. Dealt with that throughout the weekend, but powered through. Got these recruiting stories done, and big weekend for the Crimson Tide. Vanderbilt also got a commitment this weekend. I believe Boston College got one. I think Missouri even got one this weekend. So everybody doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week, really, for the Crimson Tide. Rihyael jumped out. I think he was just testing to see how it looked. We have him scheduled at 8:45, and that's really when we were going to do that. I just didn't want to waste his time if he was sitting in the back end.
We can appreciate that. You got to double check, see if everything's working, ready to go before we get in there. That's what we're looking for in a commitment right there. Guys, prepare.
Exactly. Attention to detail. On time, not on time, way early, and ready for his appearance on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Bama Central. So we appreciate that. We'll hear from him at about 8:45, so roughly 35 minutes from now.
I think that was one of the things that Nick Saban that rubbed off on him, because he was there the weekend that Saban was, helping out, doing a little bit of recruiting himself. Maybe that was one of the things that old coach that it rubbed off on everybody, was just to be there early.
Ooh, maybe we can ask him all the lessons that Coach Saban taught over that weekend. If Coach Saban was really doing the hands in the dirt, digging recruiting, everybody thinks that Kalen DeBoer couldn't close the deal. So we had to bring in Coach Saban to finish things off.
Which, did we even really talk about? Because it came out, I think, a little after the fact, after the pictures of Saban had kind of started. But Kalen DeBoer was not in town because he was at Keelan Russell's sister's funeral, which I don't know. I guess it was in Texas. I don't know where they had done that. Mississippi. Okay. But regardless, that is why that's why Coach was not there. I think he had a pretty good, bigger fish to fry than being there with some commitments. I understand that, it's fun to jab at Alabama, especially if you're not a fan of Alabama, but there was a pretty legitimate reason for Coach Saban stepping in and helping out a little bit there.
Yeah, we talked about that on that Monday, but you weren't here.
Oh, okay.
So, no, I mean, you were right in line making that point, and I think that I think you had some people just wanting to slam the Crimson Tide and not seeing the bigger picture there. Well, Mason, what do we want to start with? We want to start with either Dax's voicemail or Owen Cabell. So, dealer's
it's very
choice.
tough. I want to say Cabell.
Yeah.
It's just because in my head, that's what I thought it was for the however many months it's been now, but I'm going to have to train myself.
Cabell like Scrabble, Cabell. So you want to start with Owen Cabell, or you want to start with Dax's voicemail?
Let's start with Owen Cabell, and then we'll move on to, I guess, Dax's voicemail.
Perfect. Owen Cabell. Out of Nashville, Tennessee. If you didn't see him yet last night, roughly 5:15, 5:30, I was taking my walk with the dog, and Mason was wrapping up his day trying to get his husband duties on. 6'3", 205, Owen Cabell commits to the Crimson Tide and becomes Alabama's first wide receiver commit in the class. Out of Christ Presbyterian Academy, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In Nashville, and you've got him listed last year, 43 receptions, 973 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Now, you see 3-star recruit, and everybody turns their nose up, but then you look on the Twitter machines, and you see that he's verified at basically 4.40. He's basically listed as a fast SOB, and then you put his film on, and I see a lot to like. Tools to work on. We're gotta put some weight on him, but I see a lot to like, and I see a lot of, this is what Coach DeBoer, this is what Ryan Grubb, this is what the Alabama offense, the Washington offense, the Fresno State offense, the DeBoer system, getting down the field. So I'll just get out of the way. We had Henry Sklar join us for our short video yesterday, and that's where we got corrected on the pronunciation. O-line for life at Trevor71 hitting me with the correction, and I definitely appreciate that. If we get things wrong, you're welcome to correct us. So, Mason Woods, what do you see in Alabama's latest commit?
I mean, I think you said it right there. This is the new mold of Alabama receiver. I think for a while there, Saban had almost hold himself into, all right, we're going to get guys that are, you got to be between 5'9" and 5'11" and between 175 and 190 pounds. And that was basically all you got. But I think Kalen DeBoer has taking a bit of a different approach to the wide receiver position. He is, obviously Alabama has still gone out and gotten some of these guys, not in this class yet, but in previous classes, the smaller, faster guys like Otsier Brooks last year. But then you get these bigger body guys who can go catch those jump balls, who can go, stretch the field a little bit more vertically and offer you just a bit more versatility in your offense. I think we saw Courtney Morgan this weekend do the evaluation stock up tweet again. So it is just what this coaching thing is wanting to do, is find these players who are a little bit underrated, who certainly have all the physical attributes that you're looking for. You said it right here, 4.40, 10.76, 100-meter. Guy is certainly fast.
Certainly fast, and they're using him in the passing game to get down the field past the secondary. And so I really see him as an asset in the vertical passing game. The biggest thing that I also noticed when you look at his tape is the scramble drill. He is, he'd run a lot of deep hitches, and the quarterback's kind of running around and gives him a signal on a couple of these, and he turns it into a go ball. And I just see, instincts, football instincts. Does he need more weight? Sure, absolutely. Is he playing? Look, let's be honest. Is he playing in a little bit smaller? I'm pretty sure Christ Presbyterian Academy is a smaller division in Nashville. I know they played MBA, which is a higher level school in Nashville as well. But you're playing a little bit in the private schools. And
yeah, I mean, I think if my a lot of my gripe on Ty Simpson is because of where he played high school football.
Oh my gosh,
this is like a little even lower level than I think where Ty Simpson was
over
playing.
The shoulder catch in the first highlight, just straight, looking his head over.
But yeah, that's right. Like that's
tracking the football.
That's what you see right there is those traits that you're looking for: the ability to track the football, the ability to just kind of find that open space, feel out the football field for that open space, and find where you can find a hole in the defense. Seems like he's got that.
Yeah, so I got to just make an admission here. The high school that I played, that I went to and played at Macaulay School in Chattanooga, very likely would have played at Christ Presbyterian Academy. We played NBA. We played Brentwood Academy. They just showed a clip with him playing against FRA, Franklin Road Academy. Yep, here's another FRA clip. But so I did think that I played decent level football, but when we played... Oh my gosh. When we played some of the biggest schools in Tennessee, it became apparent that maybe we weren't playing as good a competition as we thought we were. I think that you see it right here, and it's very obvious what the coaches are looking for. Yeah. And especially, look, if you're going after a guy like Darian Morgan, which is great. I mean, yep. Oh, is this against is this against Macaulay?
Might just be.
Because they're right there at UTC. Man, okay. Well, great. No, if you're getting a guy like Sandarian Morgan, you're going to have to, go after some of the underrated guys as well. I think the wide receiver that you're going to get today is a little more underrated, but also has a lot of tools, a lot of traits. And look, do you trust Jamarcus Shepard? Do you trust him to develop talent? I think that I at least trust him to know what he's doing. Now, it depends on the talent. It depends on what the talent does on their own. But I'm a big fan of Jamarcus Shepard. I think that you're going to have him only a few more years until he gets himself a head coaching gig. But wow, Owen Cabell pulling a contested catch right there. I think that you've got a really good wide receiver here. You've got him a lot of the times isolated on one side of the formation just because he looks like the alpha of this wide receiver of this offense. I'm impressed. I'm not going to sit here and say that Alabama just got the best wide receiver in the class, sure. But you see traits on film that you're like, yeah, if that gets developed a little bit, you're going to have a really good player.
Yeah, I would not expect a ton from Mr. Cabell this season, maybe even next season. But, well, you know what I mean. His first season on campus, or maybe even his second season. But a guy who can, maybe stick it out and sit around and develop for a while. I think he could.
Don't tell me this is about to be 98 yards right here on NBA.
He's
blocking his tail off. Oh,
that's what I love to see. To get yourself a job on special teams, buddy, you'll be coaching staff will love you immediately. Then you will see him in his first year. You were a Blue Tornado in high school.
Yes,
they did. Looks like they did play them. So,
oh no, how did they do?
I've actually got
my school was actually pretty good in the last couple of years. Now better than when I played there.
Let me pull up last season's schedule because this is actually the upcoming season.
Okay, that's good. When we were there,
well, Christ Presbyterian went 14-0, so they did win whatever the score was.
Man, taking down the Blue Tornado.
Oh, it doesn't look like they played last year. Maybe it's a 2023 highlight he threw in there.
Probably so. It's all good. My school was decent to good when I was there. We went to the state championship game and lost to Brentwood Academy my junior year, but then we were 5-5 my senior year. So, up and down the last few years, Macaulay has been in the state championship picture again. So, Owen Cabell. Cabell. Golly.
For some reason, I can't find that game between them other than the upcoming one this year. But I can tell you that Macaulay went 11-2 last season, so pretty good. Doesn't look like they won their state championship, but pretty good season nonetheless.
Go Big Blue.
It's a lot
Well,
better than what my high school probably did. I think in 4 years of playing football, which I didn't even get to play really my last like year and a half because I was hurt for most of it, but we won, I want to say 4 games in 4 years. And 3 of them were in my freshman season. Good times.
Owen Cabell.
That was some low-level high school football, let me tell you.
Were y'all, what, 3A, 2A, 1A?
Well, we played 5A, so we had to play really good teams, but we ourselves, with all 25 of us on the sideline, were pretty low level. It was really, really sucked when you had to go, you'd show up to a team, and then the opposing team would pull up with like 2 buses full of players, and then they'd be about 60 or 70 deep on the sideline. And here we are barely having enough for a starting offense and defense. It was good times.
Owen Cabell, welcome to the team.
I'm excited. I am excited. Like I said, not a guy that's going to probably contribute super early, but if he sticks around for a while, given I think what he's good at, the go ball kind of aspect, the ability to just go, stretch the field and get vertical and catch those long passes, he will probably be a fan favorite, I would imagine, because what he will do is just long go ball to Owen Cabell.
Did you see Hunter Johnson? My man Hunter Johnson on the Twitter machine at Burner L Johnson. All of you guys already follow him already. 27,000 followers. His comment: Crisp route runner, very heady. Will be like having a coach on the field.
Sure.
And so I hit him with first guy in, last guy out, kind of guy you'd let your daughter date. You've got a lot of oh my gosh.
That Key and Peele, like ever since they acknowledged it with that one sketch, it has like completely changed the way everybody perceives scouting players now. Because you try, like, if you're being legitimate about it, you try so hard to avoid doing it, but it's almost impossible.
I have to respond to this. Dang it, because somebody didn't get it. I got to reply. Dang it! Now I'm embarrassed. The reply, Marcos P, and I'll reply to you really on the Twitter machine. Marcos P says something a racist would say. You just assume he works harder than the black wide receivers we had. You would never say you would let your daughter date Ryan Williams. I would let my daughter date Ryan Williams, absolutely. And absolutely missed my jest because I'm just in jest, absolutely. And so I apologize if you missed that. Definitely apologize, but it was supposed to be heavy laden in sarcasm. Dang it, now I'm embarrassed.
That's the game you play when you type sarcasm,
Because that's not the signal I want to say.
No, I wouldn't think so.
That is not the signal.
As someone who knows you pretty well, I don't think so.
You've got other people in this shit thread, a possession receiver.
Look, 99.9% of anybody that's listening to this right now knows exactly the joke that we're getting at here. It's pretty common in sports media that,
I'm so embarrassed
on TV and things. That is the route that analysts tend to take and have for a long time now. Like I said, ever since the Key and Peele did the sketch about it, however many years ago now on their show, and kind of acknowledged it. Everybody sort of knows it now, so it's a little different than it was, but it's still the joke. The joke remains.
All right, I got to reply to this just to nip this in the bud. It was only 5 or 6 minutes ago.
All right. I'll talk more about Owen Cabell. I mean, I've got his high.
Or the next few receivers. You're going to get Brian Williams today and Sedarian Moore.
Yeah, we can move there. We are. It has not been confirmed, although similar to like kind of Joe talked about last week with Xavier Crowell, I do believe that Brian Williams has maybe been committed for a bit, and this is just kind of a formality at this point. I'm not sure, but I've been hearing this guy's name for a long time. Seemingly, it's been like it has sounded like it has been locked in for a while. But yet another wide receiver, kind of in the same mold that Kalen DeBoer and this staff are looking for. A lengthy guy, 6'4", 180 pounds. So again, kind of slender, probably going to need to bulk up a little bit. I think let's see what, I think did he commit somewhere else previously? Maybe. Can't remember. I want to say he was no, I'm thinking of somebody else. He was not the Georgia Tech commit. That's a different player. But regardless, from Orlando, a just tall, lengthy receiver, fast. He can stretch the field. Does a lot of the same things that I think Owen Cabell does for his school, but he is a couple inches taller. So I think this is just yet another guy that, throw him on the field and he gives you that much more verticality to your offense. I'm very excited about what hopefully Brian Williams brings if he does proceed to commit.
I think that's going to happen today, and then obviously it's Sedarian Morgan tomorrow. That's going to make you up your wide receiver class. And if you go bam, bam,
and that's your big fish of the class right there.
Right. You go bam, 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 all three receivers, and you look at your receiver class, and you're like, all right, you three guys are running everybody off while Lazio Brooks is going crazy underneath.
And I say that's your big fish of the class, as if Alabama has not already landed a top 3 running back, a top 3 cornerback, and a top 3 linebacker in this year's class. So things are looking really well for the Crimson Tide, or really good for the Crimson Tide on the recruiting trail. I have to imagine that, like Joe just said, if you can go bang, bang, bang over the next 2 days here with these 3 wide receivers, you are certainly pushing up into the top 5 range. And then, it continues from there with hopefully Jaira Edwards later in the week and so on and so forth. And then you are looking very, very good.
All right, well, let's pivot because I got checked a little bit, I guess. So let's pivot into the voicemail line. You guys can call the voicemail line if you want to check me as well at 205-462-7340, extension 800. Right here on the voicemail line, we've got our man Dax.
What is up, guys? It is Dax again. All right. So I'm getting real tired of the Mr. Ty Simpson disrespect, mainly looking at all these lists that people are coming out with SEC quarterbacks, mostly Josh Payton, Chris Marler. They don't even have Ty Simpson in the top 10 in the SEC.
They shouldn't.
And let me add that both of their lists, Chris Marler did state that it was based on past production and expectations. Josh Payton's list was based on pure expectations. Had Ty 12 or something like that. Also, didn't even have Gunner in the top 10 either. And I know Gunner's going to do better than the top 10. Gunner's at least going to be 7th in the SEC in quarterbacks, I think. Gunner's decent. Better than 13 or wherever Josh Payton had him at. Ty Simpson, he's going to be top 3 in the SEC.
Oh!
Based on expectations. Dudes, we have I believe the O-line hype this year for once in the past 5 years. The O-line's actually going to be really good. The defense is going to get the ball back in the offense's hands very quickly, almost every game. Our wide receiver core, that's also been slightly disrespected. I mean, people are saying Auburn's is better than ours. All they have is freaking Cam Coleman, some other dude. I'm not saying Auburn doesn't have one of the best wide receiving cores, but, ours is better. It's just the Ty Simpson disrespect is retarded. Also, he had he was one of the top arms at the Manning Passing Academy. I don't get where all the Ty Simpson disrespect is coming from, because dude has literally all the tools and the weapons to be able to be one of the top quarterbacks in the nation this year. I just don't get where the disrespect is coming from, at all. And I hope more people will hop on the Ty Simpson train. Because we've also offered his little brother, Graham Simpson. We're going to have a Simpson dynasty coming through T-Town, and I just can't wait for it. But, all right, that's pretty much all I got for today. Y'all have a good Tuesday, and roll Tide.
Roll Tide. That's Dax joining us on the voicemail line, talking Ty Simpson. Top 3?
I'm going to politely disagree with most of that sentiment from that
Go ahead.
voicemail. Ty Simpson belongs nowhere near the top of your SEC quarterback list. He has done nothing up to this point. Lenore Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier, which, again, I'm not super high on, but I get why you'd put him there.
Lenora Sellers, Arch Manning, DJ Lagway, Garrett Nussmeier.
I think the hype for Arch Manning has gotten a bit ridiculous, given
he should be one.
No, but he's in a similar boat as Ty Simpson, where he's not done much, although I do think what we've seen from Arch is remarkably more impressive than what we've seen from Ty. Excuse me, this morning. But yeah, no.
Too many dust bunnies in the house.
Perfectly fair to not have Ty Simpson anywhere on your list there.
Right,
I don't think he's.
So I'm at 4 so far. I mean, everybody's list is subjective. I'm at 4 above him. I'm going Lenoris, Arch, DJ Lagway, Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah, I'm at 4 for sure.
Probably go John Mateer over Ty Simpson, given what we've seen at this point.
Okay, I am Hunter Brantley is also a Mateer fan. I'm not so sure that Washington State.
I'm a top end, I'm a ceiling guy. I think, and I'm just projecting based off of what I've seen them do at their best.
I'll give it to you then. So we're at 5. We're at 5. I'm out on Aguilar being better than Simpson. I'm out on Arnold being better than Simpson. So
Diego Pavia.
I'm out on Pavia being better than Simpson. I think Pavia is about to get figured out.
I think you're probably 1,000% correct, but up to this point, like I said,
I'm out on Blake Shapen. I'm out on whoever what's his name, Austin Reeves, the kid at Ole Miss.
You mean Marcel Reed, Texas A&M, or? Ole Miss has I just saw it or just had it. Austin Simmons.
Okay, so maybe, but we don't know anything about him. I mean,
that's another one doesn't belong even on the list. You can't rank him. You don't know anything about him. If you're ranking SEC,
Taylor Green, isn't he Arkansas?
I liked what we saw a little bit last year. He saw some flashes. Not going to put him probably over Ty, but I think firmly in the same tier as him.
So we're sitting here trying to find a 6th, and Ty might be it right here at 6 here. I'm out on Gunnar Stockton being better than him.
Way out on that. I love you, Dax.
I'm out on Puglisi.
I'm very low on Gunnar Stockton.
Didn't Kentucky?
Oh, Zach Calzada.
No, get out of here with Calzada.
That's number one quarterback in the SEC right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Joey Aguilar?
No.
Bo Fabula?
No, I'm out on him too. A 6 seems where I'm at.
I mean, I think Ty is in the same tier as all of these guys who we've not seen much from. I guess Joey Aguilar has a little bit to bad, but Bo Fabula, Gunnar Stockton, go down the list. Austin Simmons, John Mateer. I think I
gave you Mateer just for the argument. That's
sure, but all of those guys saying Ty Simpson is 6 is disingenuous because there's 4 or 5 other guys that are right there with him because we don't know. They all could suck. They all probably do suck.
You suck.
The hit rate on quarterback is very low.
You suck.
I think it's just I think you can only rank the guys who have either going into their second year as a starter or have been starters elsewhere. And that's 7 guys in the SEC, if that.
Marcel Reed, maybe above him. Maybe.
I mean, here, I've got the full list here. So we got guys that Garrett Nussmeier started last season. Arch hasn't started yet. Lenore Sellers started last season. DJ Lagway last season for most of the year. I'll give him that. Mateer has a year under his belt at Washington State. Pavia, sure. Austin Simmons, is he a transfer? I don't think. Well, knowing Ole Miss, he probably is. I don't know enough about him to know there. Taylor Green last season, that's 6. Jackson Arnold has experience.
He was at Ole Miss last year.
7.
Simmons was a freshman at Ole Miss last year. He threw for 282 yards, 2 tutties.
Marcel Reed, 8. Joey Aguilar, 9. Blake Shapen, what did he do last? Did Blake Shapen play the whole year last year?
Hurt 3 games in, 4 games in, something like that. Busted his shoulder up.
Count that one. Zach Calzada. That puts us at 10 quarterbacks out of 16 in the SEC that at least have something to go off of to rank them. I would put all of them above Ty Simpson because we don't know. I'd put all of them above the remaining 6 quarterbacks in the SEC because we don't know.
Ty, take this disrespect and run with it.
Please do.
Because I'm saying 6 is a safe number. 6 can push into 3, can push into 4.
I think by season's end, 6 is completely plausible.
Yeah, 6. He's not gonna pass Lynn Norris.
Not gonna pass DJ Lagway,
and he's not gonna pass Arch. Period.
Not gonna pass Arch.
Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier is a fraud.
I tend to agree with you, but we will see this season in more detail.
We saw last year.
I mean, yes, we did, but we will see it in more detail this year.
So I think 6 can push into 3. And Everett Osmer enjoyed your laugh there. We appreciate Everett Osmer joining us on the comment section. Everett asked us, can we have Katie on soon? I need to give you a short update on Katie Wyndham. She wouldn't mind me giving this to you, but she is going out of the country for 2 weeks. So she will not be joining us. She's going out of the country for 2 weeks.
That sounds really nice.
It's kind of like It was kind of framed as a final family vacation before they marry off their daughter. So great, enjoy that absolutely. And she's getting married at the end of the month, so she's going to be tied up. But as soon as I can get Katie back on Everett, I absolutely will, because she is super, super valuable to Bama Central and especially to this show. To just know that her schedule is just really, really, really busy right now. I apologize that we haven't had her in a little bit of time, but she is just in really, really busy mode. So 6.
What is it? What is it about Ty Simpson that everyone is so?
He plays the game the white way.
I don't see it. I have not seen it. There's nothing there that leads me to believe this guy is this elite dynamic quarterback. He played.
But it doesn't have to be.
He played against kids. Right. He played in high school against kids right now. They're doing accounting internships and we're going to business school. Like,
well, he's been marinating and baking for 3 years.
That means nothing to me.
He doesn't have to be a dynamic quarterback. All he has to do.
That's my point. Exactly.
Is find Latzia Brooks, find Ryan Williams.
Here we are talking about, well, he might be the best quarterback in the. It's preposterous.
But
he is going to be okay. He is going to be aggressively okay.
Where do you value efficiency?
Fairly high.
That's my point. That's what I'm banking on with him.
Yeah.
I'm going to reveal you real quick. You hit me in the DMs last week with Ty's going to go 12 of 14 for 125 yards and 1 touchdown in the first game.
People are going to treat him like the second coming of Jesus.
I will. Play efficiently. Do not turn the ball over. Lean on your defense. Turn around, hand the ball.
This is very strange from a Mac Jones hater like you. I don't understand it. It's same thing. I mean, from high school to now, it's the same situation. I don't understand it. What has changed? What's different about Ty Simpson? He can run a little bit.
What's different is he's not going to get the credit this year. What that Mac did. He's not going to be. He's not going to be. He's not going to be sent to, like, if he does this, he's not going to be sent to New York like Mac was. Mac was sent to New York and was like,
well, that's because it was COVID.
Trophy. Right.
That's the only reason that happened. This fan base will treat him like they're God when he goes, like I said, 12 of 18 for 112 yards and a touchdown against Florida State. They will raise him up like their savior. I guarantee you'll see it look better than Bryce Young.
No. See, I'll be pushing back on that. It's just like you know what it is? The hunger for efficiency again.
I guess. Folks, it's been a year.
2 years. It's been 2 years of boomer bust play. 2 years of, wow, that was an incredible play. 4th and 3rd. Gravedigger, how the heck did that even happen? Like, that should not have happened in my life. But 3rd and 2 and we can't make a conversion.
I cannot understand how this fan base has already forgotten what elite quarterback play looks like. We just had Bryce Young.
No memory here.
Zero
memory.
That he showed you what real elite quarterback play looks like.
That's true. I mean,
Mac Jones did not show you what real elite quarterback. He showed you all of my friends are way better at football than me. Let me just not do bad things. That's what Mac Jones showed you. And that's what Ty Simpson will show you.
And see, like, people think that, okay, people say, oh, you hate Mac Jones. I don't hate Mac Jones at all. I just don't think that he belongs in the category of the Bryce Youngs. I think he belongs in the category of, dang, he was a good quarterback, and wow, what a good season. Like,
yep.
It's Najee Harris. It's Devontae Smith. Look at the defenses and say, well, are we going to stop the run? Are we going to stop the run? Or are we going to try to load up and stop Devontae Smith? It became easy to play quarterback that year because the defenses would dictate. I mean, you got Tough Borland trying to guard Devontae Smith. What do you think is going through any quarterback's mind when they say, Heisman Trophy winner and wide receiver in the slot? Oh, wow, they're putting a linebacker out on him. That looks like a good matchup.
Oh, man, I still think about that. That boy, he was 15 yards behind Devontae, running with running his heart out. Like, got to give it to him, but man.
So I don't have any disdain for Matt. I just often think that he is placed way higher than he should have.
I guess that is where my issue. I do not dislike Ty Simpson. I dislike what is going to happen when he plays very okay this season.
That's all he needs to do. Don't turn the football over. Don't turn the football over. Find where Ryan. Look, you're going to have three receivers who are really, 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 really good.
To be honest with you, I'd take a couple turnovers if it means we get some wow plays. I'm fine with that. I will. Give me a quarterback that's a little loose with it.
Holding the ball, staring down somebody, then taking a sack. Bonk.
That's all right. Because you know what? Next play, boom. Here's a throw Ty can't hit.
No, I'm craving efficiency. That's where I am. I'm craving efficiency.
We're going to be sitting here in week 8, and it's going to be like, oh, God.
I will take the 7-yard hitch all day. I will take the check down to the running back all day. I'll take I need my quarterback to throw a couple interceptions. Lets me know he's still real. The dragger out to the tight end, the 4-yard dragger out.
Makes me feel alive inside. I need an interception. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
But, you got Jalen, the bomb into the end zone against Oklahoma that should have been a touchdown. That was a nasty-ass throw.
Golly, that was the best throw he made all season, probably. Might have been. Oh, man. I just don't see the...
I can't do more boomer bust.
I don't really see boomer bust in any of these quarterbacks on Alabama's roster. Maybe Austin Mack a bit. I think Keelan... Good Lord. The bit we saw from him was just so impressive. It was like, I don't see how he'd be a disappointment. Even if you put him on the field and he threw 5 interceptions, we'd all be so wowed with what it looked like. We'd be fine with it. But I just, I do not see the ceiling for elite play from Ty Simpson that I see from the other two. And I am personally, I think the downside of the other two is not so bad. Like it's not worth putting them out there. It's just me though. I like that little bit of flair, a little bit of flavor. Ty's good.
What if he gives it to you?
But he's just good.
What if he gives it to you though?
Then I will gladly sit here and be proven wrong.
Okay, that's fun. I just want to see where you're at there. Yeah. And what will it take for you to be like, yeah, he is a little dynamic? Is it rushing touchdown?
It's like profanity, when you see it. You can't define it.
That's right. That's true. I agree with you. It was like that with Bryce Young.
I'm sure it'll be week 1, and I'll text you if he makes some, which, like I said, I don't believe that he will. It's going to be probably a pretty boring game.
Is that going to be the week 1 film study for me? Is just breaking down Ty Simpson's performance?
We'll look at that.
Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait to.
We're gonna have to get our video sorted out a bit. Maybe we can do like a video of it, and that'd be good. Maybe
we'll get slapped with a bunch of copyright.
We can figure something out. We'll throw a little dancing cat in the corner. We'll do it. Everything does.
That might be the week 1. Great, because shoot, when I was at 109, that was one of my bigger articles. Jalen Milroe's first game against Texas A&M, stepping in. People were always horrible, and I ended up giving him like a B- or something like that, just because I thought, some of this is good,
sure.
But some of these negatives were really bad. I'm looking forward to the year. Oh gosh, 60 days away, 60 flat days away from kicking off against Florida State.
I think Ty is a good quarterback, but like I said, I think good is probably his ceiling. I don't know that he can get to elite.
No, okay, that's fair. Because I'm not expecting that out of him.
And I know that you're rational, but I think this fan base, regardless, I think as long as he doesn't play horribly, they will treat him like it's elite. And that's what's going to bother me.
Because the
same thing
craving efficiency. Craving just play within the offense.
Just efficiency is not elite. I think
that's fine.
That's good. It's I think you can be efficient or you can have a really dynamic arm, and if you have one or the other, you can be a good quarterback. But you got to have both to be that elite tier. And Ty Simpson's got a good arm, but
Bryce Young.
Yeah, he doesn't have that Bryce Young, like I can drop it anywhere in the bucket with my eyes closed and one arm tied behind my back.
Bryce was a magician, though. I mean, come on. It's not fair to compare to the greatest quarterback Alabama's ever had.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tua. Sorry, AJ.
Hey, Tua lost him a weapon yesterday. I'm a little mad about Jonnu Smith leaving the Dolphins.
Yeah, we talked about that a second, but go ahead.
I mean, not really anything other than that. It just doesn't bode well for my fantasy team because I did have him on my fantasy team, and I was somewhat intrigued by the prospect of hanging on to him because he was really, really good for me last year, but will not be holding on to him now that he's in Pittsburgh.
It's going to be he and Pat Freiermuth. not catching
Yeah,
passes
staying
from Aaron
far
Rodgers.
away from that. Thank you very much.
I don't want any Aaron Rodgers wide receiver.
I don't want I'm tempted to get rid of TJ Watt just because I don't want that Steelers juju anywhere near my team.
Yeah, I think if you bring in Rodgers at this point of his career, you're not serious about winning.
No, and it's just it's a weird way he's chosen to end his career here.
Do you think he really got married?
No, I don't think so for a second. No, I don't believe that at all.
He's got those photos on the beach or whatever, and he's like by himself. It's like, did he actually get married? Where's this wife of his that he's? Oh yeah, I got married a few weeks ago. It's like, what?
Interesting character.
Sally Smith.
He is retiring. He did say he's retiring after this year, right?
I am not sure.
I think that's what I saw. So we'll no longer be subject to Aaron Rodgers.
Comment right here. Thanks, Mason, for calling out Joe's hypocrisy regarding Mac Jones and Ty Simpson. I don't hate Mac Jones. I just think he gets way overrated.
Yeah, I think he does too. And I think Ty Simpson will as well. And it's going to bother me all the same.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fair. If he goes what?
If he throws for, if he goes 25 of 30 for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns against Florida State, I'm right there with you, buddy.
15 games this year. If you're perfect, right? It's 12 the regular season, 13 the SEC, and then you're in the quarter. You're in the quarter, semi, 3 more. So it's 16, right?
16, yeah.
If he goes 16-0, he's way better than Mac Jones, no matter what his numbers are. It was 16 versus the 11, 12,
12-0,
right? Well, no, they played 2 playoff games, didn't they? Yes, they played Cincinnati. They played 2 playoff games.
Yeah,
Notre Dame and Ohio State. So that was 12-13. That was 15-0. Wow. Oh, in COVID. Oh, just don't turn the ball over, Ty.
I mean, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna. If you do what Mac Jones did in 2020, I will not say a bad word about you, Ty. I will say a bad word about anybody that tries to call what you're doing elite, but I won't have anything bad to say about you because I don't have anything bad to say about what Mac Jones did that year. He did exactly what that team needed. It was play competent quarterback and not turn the ball over. Like that just to me does not scream, oh, this guy should have been in New York for a Heisman. This guy should have been a first round draft pick. Oh, this guy should still be getting chances in the NFL to be a starting quarterback, whatever.
Well, all right. So there burns our topics right there. We're waiting on Rihyael Kelly to jump back into the thread. He is. I just sent him a DM asking, "Are you ready, sir?" And if he's not, that's a-okay. That sometimes just happens. Mason, we got a text yesterday from one of our friends that was at this FCA golf event, Kane Womack, talking about big time recruits still on the hook. You've already mentioned Sedarian Morgan, but isn't this week Jaira Edwards week as well?
Jaira Edwards, I believe it is July 5th for Jaira Edwards. So, and then also I think you got Tank Jones coming up as well, the 5-star in-state edge rusher. Very excited.
What happens to this class if you add 3 more 5-stars? You're at 8.
Got to be number 1, right? You have to. I imagine you got to shoot up to that number 1 spot because right now, what have you got? Either you're tied for the most 5-stars in the class, or you have the most 5-stars in the class. So
yeah, you're at 8 on the 24/7 sports page, 15 total commits, 16 if you're counting our long snapper friend. So you're looking at an elite recruiting class.
I mean, I don't have it off the top of my head here, but is this? What is that? That puts you at 6 5-stars. That's got to be one of the best classes we've seen in the last few years, right?
That sounds like the afternoon project for the recruiting writer.
I believe it might be.
There we go. So let's take a pivot here. We want to remind everybody that we are live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. Call Derek for all your insurance needs. 205-758-3391. We're right here off McFarland Boulevard. You can come see his friends, Red and Reese and Victoria, are upstairs right now. They would love to talk to you about your insurance needs, home, life, auto insurance. They can get you a quick quote, get you local insurance, save you some money, and get you on the State Farm family. We're going to take a pivot right here, and we're going to be joined by Rihyael Kelly, Alabama's newest safety commit. We're very, very, very excited to catch up with Rihyael Kelly. You can follow him on the Twitter machine at Rihyael K. He's tagged in all of our stuff right here today, and we encourage you to follow him as well. He was He just was there. No, he just was there.
Maybe lost connection or something.
Maybe so. You looked like you were ready. You were there. You looked in, sir. All right. Well, we're going to be joined by Rihyael in just a minute. I'm confident of that. At the end of the show, we're also going to be joined by Larry D, a professional wrestler who I was sent a video of him last night wrestling Jacob Fatu. So I'm going to be talking to him about that, talking to him about his time at New Era Wrestling. He's coming to the Star Spangled Bash. So we're looking forward to 2 different interviews here in just a minute. Okay. Yeah. He said yes in the DMs. Come on. Let's make it happen. Mr. Rihyael Kelly, come on down from Winton Woods in Cincinnati, from Winton Woods High School in Cincinnati. One thing I didn't realize is obviously Justin Hill, Winton Woods also, but Cam Calhoun. I didn't realize Cam Calhoun was from Winton Woods as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and make it happen right here with Rihyael Kelly. Follow him on the Twitter machine at Rihyael K. We appreciate his time. Good morning, Rihyael. How we doing, sir? Welcome to the show and welcome to the Crimson Tide.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I like your sweatshirt. I appreciate your time this morning. Let's get right into it. Easy softball question. You committed to Alabama last week after being committed to Rutgers. What went into your decision to flip your commitment and join the Crimson Tide recruiting class?
I mean, like, as soon as I got there, like, the coaches, like, I already felt it, like the relationship with them, the players, the coach there introduced me to players now or recruits, and I just felt like I could be myself around them type stuff.
So tell me more about that visit. What were what was kind of your favorite thing you got to do there? How do you feel like your relationship got stronger with not only, the players you got to meet with, the players you got to interact with, but really the coaching staff as well?
We hung out, sat together, ate together. And then after, like, we did all that, we'll go with the host and we'll just chill, do what we want type stuff.
Who was your host?
Cam.
Perfect. That's what I want to get into. Did you know Cam Calhoun when he was at Winton Woods? Were y'all connected at that time, or was he he's a couple classes above you? Just what's your relationship like with Cam Calhoun?
I mean, I was in 9th grade when he was a senior, but I mean, we still had a good relationship. But yeah, I didn't really get to play with him my freshman year, but yeah, I still had a relationship with him. Yeah, it was cool.
What have you seen out of him during his time at Utah, and maybe what are you expecting out of him this season at Alabama?
I mean, he in the SEC now, so like it's big time. Like but I know he way more physical, like, and he got he could be himself around them type stuff. Like, he can, like, I feel like they got great relationships with each other and stuff like that. So, and it's easier to talk to each other on the field, like that, stuff like that.
One of your other former teammates, Justin Hill, maybe had a year to get acclimated to the SEC, a little longer than Cam has. What has he been able to tell you anything?
Well, he's an incoming freshman.
No, he just got there. Yeah, duh. Oh man, I'm a little mixed up in my years now. Well, I guess
early enrollee.
Yeah, since he enrolled, has he been able to kind of give you any advice?
Oh yeah, he's telling me it's great down there. Like, he love it down there. They put on 20 pounds on him in like 2 months as soon as he got down there, and that's all muscle too. But yeah, he love it down there.
We're talking to Rihyael Kelly, safety out of Winton Woods in Cincinnati, Ohio. Rihyael, you're listed on all these sites, 6'3", 180. I'll just give you a chance. Is that accurate? And what did they tell you about your body type?
Right now I'm 185. I'm 6'3" though. They say, like, I'm rangy, quick, fast, versatile, stuff like that.
We put your film on several different times and see you play in deep safety for Winton Woods. Do you like that role? What do you like about football, and really just kind of what do you like about playing defense?
I like coming down here and being a ball hawk. Yes, sir.
If you had to, choose maybe one word, one adjective to describe the way that you play, what would you use?
Physical.
We're talking hanging out with Rihyael Kelly. Rihyael, what would you say would be your biggest goal for your senior year?
Get a ring and be way much better than I was last season. Yeah.
So what is there anything specific about your game that you're wanting to improve on?
Probably tracking the ball better. That's about it.
Yeah, I see you got a couple interceptions last season. What goes through your mind when that ball goes in the air?
One opportunity. I gotta go get that.
Prior to Alabama kind of getting in touch with you, how familiar were you with Alabama football? Did you grow up, watching it at all, or was it, kind of something new that they've recently gotten in touch with you here?
I mean, I used to watch Alabama when I was younger, but I was mainly like a Ohio State type of guy. Like I loved Ohio State, but yeah, I used to get right at watching Bama. They had Nick Saban. Nick Saban, he was crazy.
Have you been to a game yet in Bryant-Denny Stadium? And really, do you have any plans to come to Tuscaloosa this fall to check it out?
Oh yeah, for sure. I ain't been to a game yet, but I'm definitely coming to at least like 2 games. Got to.
Do you have an idea maybe when that'll be, or the schedules just haven't been set yet?
Yeah, the schedules haven't been set yet. I want to go to the Tennessee game though. That's gonna be lit.
You just mentioned Nick Saban, and I believe wasn't Coach Saban kind of around the program during the weekend of your visit, or was that a different weekend?
It probably was a different weekend. He went there. Like I guess he left like 2 days before the visit or something like that.
So let's talk about Mo Linguist instead then. What's your relationship like with Alabama defensive backs coach Maurice Linguist?
It's great. Like I could really be myself around him. Like it's crazy. Like as soon as I got there, I already felt like it was home. Like something already clicking to me. Like yeah, this the right spot. And like the one thing that really stuck out to me was like he told my mom like this your visit. This ain't right your visit. This your visit. That's what really stuck out to me.
Oh, how did your mom react to that?
She already knew. Like she loved it there, and he just made it brighten her day.
Alabama's hired Jason Jones to kind of help with the defensive back. So he's a newer coach to the staff. We haven't had a whole lot of time to get to know him. Now he played at Alabama. What's he like?
Yeah, he a cool guy. He a cool guy. He check up on you, make sure you got what you need, stuff like that. And he knows the game.
Has he given you any tips about playing in Alabama?
I mean, we went over some film. We talked about some coverages and stuff like that.
We're hanging out with Rihyael Kelly, Alabama's newest safety commit. Rihyael, let's put you in a hypothetical. You're in the defensive backfield. You can get an interception off any quarterback ever. Mm-hmm. Who are some of the quarterbacks that you would like to be intercepting?
Probably like all time.
Anytime, yes, sir.
Probably Peyton Manning.
That's a good pick. Is there anybody, any current players, past players, anybody playing, NFL, college, anyone that you try to model your game after now that you've kind of taken tips from?
Probably Kyle Hamilton. People say I'm him too. Like he can go track the ball down, he come down, be physical, use his range, things like that.
Oh, that's a beast right there to model your game after. All absolutely. Do you have a favorite NFL team? You're a Cincinnati guy. You a big Bengals man?
Yeah, I mess with the Bengals, but I've always been like a Seahawks type of guy. Like I used to rock with Seahawks back when Legion of Doom. That was crazy time.
We're hanging out with Rihyael Kelly today. Do you have a pregame ritual to get you in the zone to perform well?
Probably call your friends about Broadway. I'll listen to some chill stuff before the game.
What's on your playlist? What are some of the artists on your playlist?
Rod Wave, No Cap, Drake, Rollo, people like them people. That's top 4 though.
Let's see.
I can keep going if you want.
Well, I mean, I just want to kind of keep asking you about really this trip that you had to Tuscaloosa. What was, you mentioned going out and getting food or anything? Was that kind of everybody going out together? Did you guys go as a group to anywhere specific? Was there anywhere good that you went to eat?
Yeah, like they have their own like spot where they go out and eat and stuff like that.
What was the best thing y'all had?
Steak. That's probably the best thing I had, or some wings that we had at the facility.
Rihyael, if you weren't a football player, if you didn't play football and that wasn't your future, what would you be doing? What's something, maybe a different sport or a different hobby? What's something else that you might be pursuing?
I'll probably do sports medicine, like be like an athletic trainer type stuff, like do rehab or something like that.
Is that something you plan on pursuing here at Alabama?
Yeah.
I need your help. I've had a handful of knee surgeries in my day, and my knee's starting to creak. I need your help.
Hey.
We're hanging out with Rihyael Kelly, Alabama's newest safety commit. Rihyael, if you could have your pick of NIL, you get your choice. You're obviously going to be a big star once you get here, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you. But if you could make your own opportunities, what's a company, a business, or some venture that you would like to get involved in with NIL?
Probably make my own branding. Yeah.
We got to get you a logo then. You got your Rihyael Kelly logo?
I was thinking like a saying talking about like believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who gonna believe in you? You always gotta believe in yourself first.
Absolutely. Where does that self-confidence come from?
I mean, when you working almost every day, like the confidence is gonna come with it. So you just keep working, focusing on craft, and it's just the confidence gonna come with it.
Right, Rihyael Kelly, you originally were committed to Toledo, then committed to Rutgers, and now committed to Alabama. So where do things stand now with your recruitment? Is it done with Alabama, or are we still maybe thinking about some things?
No, I'm done.
Yeah. What were the, I mean, obviously, Alabama, Rutgers, and Toledo, all three kind of different programs. But what were kind of the main differences between Toledo and Rutgers, and then between Rutgers and Alabama that helped you change your decision those times?
With Toledo from Rutgers, I'd probably say just bigger school. I feel like I get more developed at. And then Rutgers to Bama, just like the culture. Like I say that culture like brotherhood. Like everybody like this. So like you can get along with anybody type stuff.
Rihyael, we asked JJ Finch last week about his recruiting ranking. You're also ranked a 3-star recruit by the 24/7s of the world. What do you make of that? How does that sit with you?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That don't sit right with me. Like, yeah, I don't mess with that. 3-star cool. I'm trying to shoot for more. Like, nah.
I gotta say, in the bit that we watched, it didn't sit right with us either. We didn't really agree. So we've been asking, like we said, we asked JJ Finch, and he kind of had the same thing to say.
Yeah.
What stood out about Coach Kalen DeBoer? What made Coach Kalen DeBoer stand out from other coaches that you've interacted with so far?
Kevin DeBoer, he like an open guy. Like, he ain't one of them like head coaches that's like up there and you down here type stuff. You can talk to him anytime you want. That type stuff. Yeah, overall, he like a regular coach, but he a head coach. Like, it's cool.
Rihyael, have you ever been nervous before a game? And if so, what's a way that you might calm down your nerves other than your smooth music?
I mean, once that first play like start, then like everything goes away. Like I'm locked in. Like it's like I don't know. Like I'll be nervous. Then when I'm like get on the field and actually start playing, then everything just goes away.
We talked about your former teammate Justin Hill and the being an early enrollee earlier. What do you think about early enrolling?
It's great. It gets you a head start on everything. Like I said, Justin he gained like 20 pounds in like 2-3 months, and from early enrolling, like it gets you ahead of the game. You get to learn their scheme better before the people that come after school type stuff. Yeah, it's great though.
Just a few more with Rihyael Kelly, and we really appreciate your time, Rihyael. Thanks for cutting out, giving us some of your morning. I know it's a little early to be doing a talk show, but it looks like y'all went 10-2 last year. So many victories. What is the way that you celebrate a victory? What is it? Do you have a special meal? Do you have something that you like to do? How does Rihyael Kelly like to celebrate his wins?
Probably go out with the fam. Like you said, go out to eat with the family or something. And then, like, right after that, we got practice film, like, right after that, Saturday. So, yeah.
I got one more question. Is there any, I know you said you weren't super familiar with Alabama. You watched them a little bit. Is there any, one player or one guy that you remember watching growing up that maybe would be your favorite Alabama player?
I'll probably say TA. Like he recent though.
Good pick though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he liked that.
Anybody else growing up, just in general, just any your favorite player, just in general?
I'll probably say Devontae Adams. Like he was quick, he could get open anytime for real. And then I heard when I was at Alabama, they told me like once he won the Heisman, he was right back in the gym working the next morning. Yeah, that's crazy.
Definitely a great role model to look up to. Rihyael, have you checked out any future Alabama schedules, particularly 2027, your sophomore year? Alabama's supposed to be playing at Ohio State.
Oh no, I ain't get into that.
I just mentioned it because of what you said earlier, and really the same question: is there any stadiums that you would love to go play in?
LSU, Ohio State, Tennessee. Yeah, them would be big time for me.
All right, so the last one for me, and I really appreciate your time, Rihyael, is really just give us your outlook on the Alabama Crimson Tide season this year. I know you won't be a part of it. You'll be finishing up your senior year, but how do you think your former teammates, Cam Calhoun, Justin Hill, and the rest of the Crimson Tide will do in 2025?
Honestly, I feel like they could win it all for real. Like, and then like Justin and Cam, they already gonna be playing, so like they got chemistry together. It's just gonna be crazy. But they definitely could win it all though.
Well, I'm really excited to have you here. I'm really excited to get you onto campus after your senior year. I hope your senior year goes very, very well. We want to encourage everybody to follow him at Rihyael K on the Twitter machine. Rihyael, I'll leave you the last word. Anything you want to say about yourself or anything you want to say to the Alabama fan base that's watching right now?
Roll Tide.
We love it, Rihyael. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for your time, and we hope to catch up with you again soon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's Rihyael Kelly joining us, and really excited to have him. 6'4". He said it right there. Rangy.
Yeah, you see it right there when you watch the highlights. Very, very excited for this guy.
Fast, rangy, molinguist. They got a type. Yeah, I was reading today. Dijon Lee, Cam Calhoun.
It's crazy to think that this time, maybe 2 years ago, we're kind of talking about Damani Jackson. Like, man, he's so lengthy and now they've got 4 or 5 guys coming up that are at least an inch or two taller. It's crazy.
Nate Oates needs to run some open gym with the defensive back room.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we need.
Because you had Kool-Aid and Terry and Arnold both as a kind of dual they wanted to play basketball. It just didn't happen, and that's probably never going to happen. But just take the defensive back room and run some open gym with the basketball team.
Man, oh man, I am excited about this defense, excited about this team, excited about this season in general.
Yeah, so excited to catch up with Rihyael Kelly. I'm supposed to get a text out to another Alabama recruit today. Maybe a quarterback with a big old arm from Nebraska. Hopefully he's going to be joining us very soon. I've seen him join the podcast and the show circuit, and he was pretty receptive in our text message. He just was going on vacation over the weekend, said he wasn't going to be back until late yesterday. And I said, I'll talk to you Tuesday then. How about that? Speaking of quarterbacks, I do think Alabama could possibly be closing in on another quarterback in the 26 class. What are we making of that? I saw that. Tell me more, and just what are we making of that? The little bit that I watched, probably one of his little highlight clips there on Huddle that was 3, 4, 5 minutes long. Taden Kawa originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, played in transferred to, I think it's Orem High School in Utah last season for his junior year. Really, really tall. I think he's like 6'5", little on the smaller side. Probably need to bulk up a little bit. Looks wise, he certainly looks the part of your quarterback that you're looking for. He's very tall, can hang in the pocket. He's got decent mobility, not really like get out and run and get extra yardage mobility, but I'm going to bounce around in the pocket and buy some extra time to throw mobility. I don't really know what the thought is there. Him and Jet Tamala look like kind of similar quarterback prospects to me. Maybe it is just, hey, we need to go get a couple guys just in case somebody decides to transfer out. We want to get some backup here. Yeah, are we fearful of a Austin Mack departure? I think you're always fearful of it. That's what it seems like. That's just my outside looking in tea leaves. Sure, that's what it has seemed like for a while now. I think, I think in Austin Mack's case, I would imagine he was sold on, okay, well, you follow me from Washington, you get the opportunity to start here at Alabama after Jalen Milroe's done, and maybe that has not gone the way he wanted it to. Say whatever you will about that, but I certainly think it's on the table to have him, so that Austin Mack would be transferring, because I think, as much as you don't want Mack to transfer, you certainly don't want Keelan Russell to transfer. So if you have the option there, you're probably going to, put your eggs in Keelan Russell's basket and tell Mack, sorry, buddy, we can go get somebody else. As much as I would hate to see that personally, it is what it is. I think that's a bit what this is, maybe. Yeah, so
just some insurance.
I'm very intrigued because I saw that kind of percolating over the weekend, and I thought, it seems a little unusual. So you don't think it's a referendum on Jed Tamala?
Not really. I mean, I think they're, like I said, they're kind of similar prospects, both tall, kind of pocket passer guys, big arms that can make all the throws that you're looking for. I don't really think it's. I mean, like I said, it's just two guys kind of with similar skill sets. I think it's a little bit of just insurance for one way or the other. Whoever you decide is your favorite, the other guy is insurance for him.
All right, let me check in with our wrestler real quick. We're supposed to have Larry D join us, the legendary Larry D. He is the legendary Larry D, the best hand in the house. Been wrestling since 2002. Was on TNA Impact. You saw him there. He's wrestled all over the country. Recently, I watched a match at AAW, and so I'm really excited to catch up with Larry D. There's a lot of things I want to get into with him. He's from Loversboro, Kentucky. Is his is his name? I don't know. Is that a real town? Is that a real town, Mason? Loversboro, Kentucky? No. He was giving us some Go Big Blue, Go Cats in our chat. So hopefully he will join us in just a second. I know this show is going a little longer today. We're going to cut out the Rihyael Kelly interview to put it on the YouTube's machine by itself, so everybody can just jump straight to that. We'll also cut out the Larry D interview if we can get him on. We want to talk about his match against Getting Set In. Perfect. So he's going to be in here in just a second. He's scheduled to take on Brother Azrael at Star Spangled Bash. And Brother Azrael, if you haven't seen him yet, I'm sorry, this is not said in a disparaging way. He has the whitest base I have ever seen in my life on a human being. He is a big man, and I saw Brother Azrael do pile driver. Cade Newton. Yes, Cade Newton. Yes. Onto the gym floor.
Yeah.
The gym floor. There's no padding. This is basketball hardwood floor at New Era Wrestling, and pile drived Cade Newton's head right into the gym floor in their Falls Count Anywhere match, I guess 2 shows ago. So Larry D is going to be stepping in inside the ropes against one of the biggest, meatiest men. But if you put on Larry D's film, you look him up on the YouTube's machine. He is a big old man himself. And he's in there. I guess the most prominent match that I saw was against Jacob Fatu.
That is what I'm looking
and
at right
he
now.
and Fatu are going beat for beat right there at AAW. And he nearly takes out the Samoan Werewolf. Unfortunately, he gets the big old moonsault at the end and gets pinned. But I'm looking forward to hearing from Larry D, hearing about his time at TNA Impact, and hearing just kind of what he's going to do at New Era Wrestling. So we're really looking forward to it. Yep, he's in our back end. We are trying to get him really finish the show on a high note. So let's do it right here. You follow him. You can follow him on the Twitter machine at Legend of Larry D on the Twitter machine. He is the legendary Larry D. Watch out for the KO punch. Watch out for the curb stomp and the spinning back elbow. Good afternoon. Good morning, Larry. How we doing today, sir?
Guys, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing this morning? I appreciate you for having me on.
Oh, man, I'm so excited to having you on, and I'm so excited for the Star Spangled Bash here July 12th, New Era Wrestling in Jasper, Alabama, Swan Gym. Let's just get right into it, Larry. What's going on with you in New Era Wrestling?
You know, I've always enjoyed New Era Wrestling. Jasper, Alabama was one of the first places that I got to teach a wrestling seminar, and it was right before I got offered my contract. So I always have a very special soft spot in my heart for New Era Pro Wrestling. I always say it's my favorite stop in Alabama.
Well, you can find Larry all over the place, and a lot of you probably remember his time in TNA Impact. He was an IWA Mid-South heavyweight champion. He was New South heavyweight champion, NWF Classic champion. I mean, all over the place. Been wrestling for over 20 years, and you've got
25 years in March, fellas. 25 years. Wow. I'll be 42 in January.
What's it take to maintain a 25-year career?
Craziness, absolute craziness. No, it takes a huge support system. Fortunately, I have a wonderful wife and I have 4 amazing children that allow me to do what I do. I don't get out as frequent as I did. I was, when I was chasing the contract, I was out 5-6 nights a week. I would start out, we would teach wrestling on Tuesday night in Paris, Kentucky. I would go to Dayton, Ohio for Rockstar Pro on Wednesdays. Wherever in the world Ian would have us on Thursdays, and then all over the country. I mean, sometimes I would get in the vehicle at 7:00 in the morning in Kentucky, and we would drive 10, 11 hours up to Des Moines, Iowa for Wrestling Revolver. If you're not familiar with the Pro Wrestling Revolver, I highly suggest that you go give them a watch. And then from there, we would take a 12 or 13-hour trip to Jasper, Alabama, and we'd stop at Mr. Bean's and fill up our tummies, and then we would head on over to the gym.
What do you think? I hear you teaching wrestling school here in Jasper. What do you think it takes to start? I have people that say, Joe, you need to do it. You need to just do it. And I'm like, no, I'm too old. I'm going to get hurt. I just want to watch and cheer and say, and be rah-rah in the crowd.
Well, I most certainly think that you need to make sure that you want to do this, because I think a lot of people come into this and they underestimate, they think that, oh man, I jump on the trampoline and, you remember playing as a child, how easy it was. And you maybe you thought that you had it. And then, you maybe about that, fellas. Let me do not disturb this real quick. I'm going to do not disturb this real quick. I'm always good at interrupting podcasts this way. So we're good now. I'm on do not disturb. But I truly feel like you have to make sure it's absolutely something that you want to do. I knew at a very young age, I told my mother, rest her soul, at 6 years old, that's what I wanted to do. And, a lot of kids would come in on career day and they'd say, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a doctor, a lawyer. I want to be whatever my dad is. And I my dad was a farmhand, and I knew from the get that I wanted to be a professional wrestler.
So that you mind if I jump in here?
Yeah, please, please.
I just want to, that's kind of where I wanted to ask you, was just about your background there. Like what, obviously you said right there at 6 years old, you knew, but what was it that made you, that helped you make that decision? What was it that informed you there that said, hey, I want to be a wrestler? Was there any one guy? Yeah. Was there any kind of one show you watched?
Of course. I had no idea what pro wrestling was at that age, and I do remember my dad was a farmhand. He worked for $200 a week. And so we were very, very poor growing up. My dad, not to sidetrack, but my dad would take half of his wages and go to the auction, and then he would get a truckload of stuff, and then he would resell it on Sunday, and there you go, But, he came in one night early on a Friday and said, Jeannie, the wrestling, Jeannie's my mother, they got pro wrestling back. MWA's coming back to the Georgetown flea market. I had no idea what it was. And I remember, just getting in the car, pulling up, and there was just a line of people. There had to be 250 people ready to walk in just one, regular size door. And I remember just I had no idea. Walked in, they paid their money, and there sit handsome Jimmy Valiant to the left. And I remember he would always have like these wrestling masks. And, I would always want one. And obviously we couldn't afford one right away, but we would get one eventually every week. Dad would buy me one for $5. But the first heel that ever came out to the ring was a guy named Dangerous Doug Vines. And I'm telling you, he didn't have to speak a word. He didn't have to say anything. He had no flashy gear. But I'm telling you, he captivated the crowd. And the way that the people were yelling at him, and the way that the people, he had gotten all the heat he was getting, it just drew me in. I think I was attracted to the art of it before I knew what the art of it was, if that makes sense, because I loved how you could take a crowd and just dictate what they want to do, how they react to you. Do you want them to like you? Do you want them to hate you? Whatever it might be. And from a young age, that always intrigued me.
We're hanging out with Larry D, the best hand in the house. Larry, what can you tell me about Loversboro, Kentucky?
Loversboro? I don't know much about Loversboro, but I know about Georgetown, Kentucky is my hometown. Maybe Loversboro was Lawrence D's old stomping grounds or something.
I'm sorry. You must have got some bad information. I see billed from Loversboro, Kentucky, so I apologize about that.
I'm from Georgetown. Maybe that's a Lawrence D thing. Maybe that perfume is from that side of Kentucky.
Okay, I got you. I so apologize. We're hanging out with Larry D, and he is coming to New Era Wrestling July 12th for the Star Spangled Bash, and he's going to be taking on Brother Azrael. Have you done your scouting report on Brother Azrael? I've seen him twice now doing and the last time I saw him, or 2 times ago, I saw him do a pile driver onto the gym floor.
Oh, well, he's got his hands full because I'm sitting at 320 right now. And in order to get me up there, he's better hit his workouts. And I'm telling you, I've been hitting the gym heavy. I've been doing my due diligence. I'm ready. I'm so excited to come back to Jasper, Alabama. I can't begin to tell you. I tell you one thing, as strong as he is, I hope he has his boots good and tight because he better bring them ready to work.
I got to ask you about the KO punch.
Yeah,
Is it do you know every time you connect with one, like, oh yeah, this is it? Or do you feel it on specific, you really get a good one? What does it kind of feel like?
I knew you can go back and watch a match when I was on my climb. I wrestled Johnny Impact. I was blessed to have the opportunity to wrestle for the Impact World Heavyweight title at Dayton. And I hit a pop-up power bomb and I rode him through and I sunk it and I just fell on him. And I'm telling you, I was a split second from being the first unsigned Impact World Champion. I could just feel it. And if you watch that match and you go back into the crowd, I give my all, but just seeing the people ringside, like, oh my gosh, we're about to see a title change right here, unexpected, and from that day forward, people were like, hey, who is this guy? Sign Larry D, knock him out. And it started to be a hashtag. And man, I was so blessed to get to travel the country without being signed and start to make my living prior. And the knockout punch has been near and dear to my heart. I was always a big fan of Big Show and Paul White growing up. And if you remember early 2000s and later and beyond, he was doing the big knockout punch. And I've always had a decent punch. So I decided to pay homage and incorporate.
Well, Brother Azrael, you better watch out for that knockout punch, and you better watch out for that pop-up power bomb. I was put onto a match that you and Jacob Fatu were in, and you gave him the business, including the pop-up power bomb. Just what do you remember about that match, and really, what's your reaction to the success that Jacob Fatu has ended up having?
I'll tell you that Jacob Fatu, I met him the first time we was in Chicago for AAW there at Logan Square Arena. And I was in a scramble match, and that was our first interaction. We wasn't supposed to have a match on the Bourbon Street side of things, but there was a spot that he was in the ring, like cleaning house. And there was a moment that we had a face-to-face, and the people you could tell they wanted to see that hoss fight. Yeah, let them fight, that kind of stuff. And we built on to our match. And I'm telling you, he was such a nice guy. I'm so happy that he's having the success that he is. And it's always been from day one. Hey, Oos, it's great. I'll work you anytime, Oos. Things like that. And I'm so happy to see the climb that he's on right now. There's no doubt I feel he will be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the next 5 years.
Well, you guys had a great match that is right there available on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with Larry D, because you're not a TNA Impact fan, 1, you're a loser. But 2, just type in Larry D and Jacob Fatu, and you will see a great hard-hitting match, a preview of what's to come on July 12th. New Era Wrestling, the Star Spangled Bash. Larry D's taking on Brother Azrael right there in Swan Gym. You can get tickets, and we want to make it a short announcement. We've been given promo codes almost every New Era Wrestling show. This promo code is going to be Larry D. So as you go on to Eventbrite and get your tickets, just type in Larry D and you will get 25% off your tickets, because I know you're all going to be there to boo me. I'm going to be doing the special guest ring announcing, and so I got to practice the legendary Larry D. We got to get it going. We got to get deep in there because I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm most certainly happy that you're warming up, my friend.
Well, we need to pay our proper respect. We want to leave you the last word right here and just kind of give you a chance to talk to the people in Alabama and really set up your match with Brother Azrael.
Really looking forward to making my return to Jasper. I've always enjoyed it, as we spoke earlier. This time I'm coming with books. I have a biography that I will have 8x10s. And it's always been good to share my experience with Jasper, because I feel like Jasper, Alabama was like the turnkey of whenever I started my chase. I'll always hold it near and dear. You can bank on that I'm bringing 125% every time. I hope that Brother Azrael's ready, because I'm always ready. Not to steal from Matt Cardona, but I'm ready at 41, 42. I'm bringing it hard as I did at 21, 22.
You can follow him on the Twitter machine at Legend of Larry D, but you make sure your butt is in Swan Gym right there on July 12th, 7:30, New Era Wrestling, the Star Spangled Bash. Larry D is going to be taking on Brother Azrael, and you don't want to miss it. Larry, thank you so much for your time. I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person, and I'm really looking forward to watching you work in person as well.
I appreciate you guys. I look forward to meeting the both of you.
Absolutely. That's Larry D joining us, and we cannot wait for the Star Spangled Bash. Look, I know I have ruffled some feathers on Twitter, some feathers on Facebook. You're welcome to come boo me right to my face as I'm doing the special guest ring announcing. I appreciate Chloe Wade letting me step in. Chloe is going to be doing a little thing with her family. They're out of town, so she's letting me step onto her microphone, and I will be doing the special guest ring announcing for New Era Wrestling Star Spangled Bash, July 12th. It's going to be 7:30. You can get tickets on Eventbrite right now, and when you get into there, they've got a promo code spot. Just type it in, Larry D, all one word, because we're so excited to have Larry D on the program and on the show. And so we hope that you come join us. Save yourself some money, 25% off. The tickets, are not expensive anyway, so they're giving you even a better deal. It's going to be a really, really good show. I know a lot of you wrestling fans are going to be thinking, what about Saturday night's main event? That's what DVR is for. What about AEW's All In? That's what DVR is for. You can save yourself a whole lot of money. Come in person, yell at me, watch the Openweight Championship being contested between the Alpha, Alexander Lincoln, and the irredeemable Aiden Andrews. That's going to be the headliner of the night. But man, I bet the chops, the slaps between Brother Azrael and Larry D are going to be worth every bit of it.
It's going to be crazy. I'm excited to see it.
So we're going to get out of here for the day. We want to thank Rihyael Kelly. We want to thank Larry D for joining us. I want to thank Mason Woods, giving me a little more of his time today. And you guys, the listeners, the viewers, June was a great month for us. We're going to try to make July even better. 60 days away from football. And we'll talk to you again on a Wednesday edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.